And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What is happening in the city tonight? Good evening, everyone. It is Miss Swoop Nations coming to you with her very first La Familia Ties, Part 1. When you heard it, I heard it. All names will be disclosed and I will use them as true stories. Please pray for me as I go into the story. You guys, I was honored to meet this queen on her throne at a very young age. I was 22 years old when I crossed paths with this queen. And I call her a queen because this was an older woman. I would say she was in her 50s, early 50s. I want to say she was in her early 50s. I can't just name it because I can't remember how old she actually told me. But I was 22 then, so she's much older now. God bless her in her years. But I got a opportunity to sit and talk with this lady one day, and the conversations was just rolling. One thing about Miss Move Nations is I appreciate the response, the teachings, watchings of just old heads. You know, you call them old schoolers or old heads or whatever you want to call them. The right ones are very teachable. Their wisdom and their knowledge on things are amazing. And I knew she was on point when she told me, baby girl, it doesn't matter how old or how young you are, you're going to keep living and learning. You'll learn every day. And with that being said, we went into a couple more things, and she shared this story with me of how after so many years before her brother had passed away from an overdose, true story, from an overdose, they had got back in touch with each other over Facebook. They were communicating. They had some deep issues stemming from her childhood. With all due respect, you could tell this woman had forgave her brother with every ounce of her. Because when you truly forgive someone, you can talk about it like it really never happened to you, or you could talk about it with grace. You could talk about it knowing God got this, God got me, He kept me. And that is exactly just the grace on her was amazing as this woman was going into her story. She was telling me how she had to sleep with her parents for about 2 years. The brother was so sick and tormented until, he was sneaking in baby girl's room and molesting her. I could not believe what I was hearing, because in my mind I'm thinking, gosh true story. I knew this girl who had been through the exact same thing. It was 2 of her family members, one of her mom's friend as she got older. See, that's what people have to realize is when a girl is growing into their body, you have to watch all those older heads of the men or women that your parents should have stayed from around, okay? And then as she got a little bit older, it was one of the play uncles that was supposed to be like, they grew up together. They actually, I think the families grew up in the projects together. So, it was like a play uncle to her. And in my head, I am thinking as this woman is talking, I imagine how this young lady felt. Just imagine, because those are the people that she was supposed to entrust in as she was growing up. With that young lady, it was just fondling that happened to her. Thank God she never got to experience the other half of what that fondling could have went into. But in this queen's situation, it was her brother. Let me tell you something. A sibling is like your right, left, back, front, side, ears. Your siblings are your world. You look for them when you don't look for no one else. You've been through the mud together. You done jumped off the porch together. You done taught each other together. You have stood firm together. When mom or dad were nowhere to be found, you comfort each other. You looked out for each other. No one would ever imagine the person that is supposed to be your bestest friend and your under God, your next protector, to come in and swipe a world upside down like that and cause so much disruption. But you have to go back because it started from somewhere. You ain't think baby boy ain't get that done to him? Please. There are so many families that are dealing and have dealt with that. It has literally, because this is what the devil do in every family, especially every strong built family. Whether you are a mafia family or whether you were brought up, true story, like a young lady I knew in the mafia type family. Skirt. I'm going to speak on me for a minute. My aunt was a real religious single woman that raised 8 kids under one roof. Her 5, including my mom's 3. When it comes to being a single, independent woman, please. Been around it all my life, was built by one of the best ones that have done it, along with many other women in those eras that had to do it. People think fathers just now haven't been there. Please. Man, that world was a fool back in the day. But the devil's key is to come in and to destroy some of the most built, powerfulest families. He creeps in. Whether he hit the weakest ones first or whether he tried to hit the strongest ones first. He's going to come within someone and destroy it. You think all brothers and sisters get along? You think all families get along? Skirt, they don't. It just didn't start now. Look at Cain and Abel, 2 brothers. But it heads like a Sasket, babe. The Israelites, real talk, let me find that one. The Israelites had been obsessed with controlling the sexual behavior of their girls and women. This is why so many darn laws about sexual misbehavior and intermarriage came about. You think those laws are just coming about? Skirt, they've been out way back then. Since Jesus walked. Do you understand me? You know how many brothers and sisters, or how many people have dealt with that in their family? Some of them dealt with it. Some of them got help. Some of them coped with it. Some of them stay stronger than ever. And some of them totally destructed. And you cannot pull those families back today. You cannot pull those sisters and brothers relationships back today. You have some sisters that don't even speak to some sisters. You have some brothers and sisters that don't even speak to each other. Brothers and brothers that don't even speak to each other. And to the mothers and fathers have been caught in a goddamn limbo. And then your miserable butts have given, You throw out, or you're going to talk to me or deal with me, or you're going to deal with Katie or Mary. What you need to do is you need to deal with your own problems at hand. You're not the first person and you're not the last person that has got molested, that has got abused or neglected. There are millions, billions, and trillions of Americans that has crossed that or is going through it, okay? My best advice, get help. Get past that hurdle. That hurdle will destroy you and relationships to come for the rest of your god-darn lives. It causes bitter and it causes miserableness. You have to understand. You do not have to forget. Please don't. Stay on point from that point on. But if you ever want to see them pearly gates and walk and have eternal, healthy, good life with the Lord for the rest of your life instead of burning in hell with the devil because he right there waiting on you because his miserable butt's right there too, then I suggest you start forgiving, truly forgiving, and moving on with your lives and trying to cope with some of these things. And it doesn't just have to be molestation, because let me tell you something. There have got some families that didn't even touch the molestation base. Jealousy, envy, money, power has taken them completely. And that goes for a black, white, Chinese. I wouldn't care what race you are. There are some families out here that's really underestimated. That's why I do Rockstar Baby Throne Nights, for the simple point of the fact there's some real empires out here. There's some real boss families out here. There's some real boss single households out here. You think they should be in Beverly Hills or Rodeo. But that's just how humble and modest they are. They good with the life that they got. True story. I've been in some homes. I've been in some communities where people have stayed, and it's like, oh, geez me, oh, gosh me, oh, no one would even think. You understand me? There are so many families that have tried to start business. There are so many families that have tried to do what? To do what? To come together, to build what was once broken. But that goes to this post right here. I broke bread when I had crumbs. Don't speak to me about loyalty. That post to me could have been shared and really could have been meant and hit for anything in any situation. That's the first thing a family member wants to drag. You slept on my couch when nobody else would give you a couch. Well, I wish they would have, if you gonna throw it in my face. Did we say that 2 years ago when we gave you 3 slices of bread because you had nothing to eat? Skirt. See, that's what people fail to realize. Why you can't look at it as you're just helping that person. Why does people always have to look at it to the simple point of the fact that that person owed you that, or you owed that person that? No. They don't owe nothing but themselves and God, his loyaltiness and their loyaltiness to themselves. That's it. Whatever you think a person owes you, or whatever you think is to whatever extreme, I'm going to need for you all to get over that. You've got so many families that's like the Brady Bunch family. So many different personalities within that family. You have so many families that grew up to where one side was very religious. The other side was like the, what up? What are you doing? All that God stuff. What you doing, Hecky? You know. You have different sides. You have all natures and all uniqueness in families. But what families don't understand is they're the first to look down on their own family members. Like you ain't growing with that person all their lives. Like you don't know that person been talking like that and acting like that and being themselves all their lives. Family is the first to supposed to know each other. That way, when outside people come in, skirt. Let me stop and rewind this back. This is what my aunt taught us. And this is a true story on me. My aunt always said this. I'm going to read this post before I say what I got to say. Get your own view of a person because people really be out here lying and hating on you. My aunt taught me this. She taught us, if a person come to you trying to tell you something about such and such, you should never hop on that train of hearsay. Because one thing you should go through your mind real fast in that moment is that person that they're coming to you about. You know that person. You should know what that person would say or what that person wouldn't do. You should know that sound like that person or that don't sound like that person. You have too many people that will take the word of what an outsider come and tell them, and sometimes it's your inside, come and tell them and let it mess up every freaking thing that could have been made. Over hearsay? Over because you really knew that person? Come on. I'm speaking about families individually tonight. Cousins and friends are tomorrow. I'm speaking on so many American families that go through this average everyday cycle of, we talking this day, we not talking. We ain't talked for 20 and 30 years. What? Over what? That's just like a girl that's still chasing a man that left her in high school. And this woman is still chasing and lusting after this goddamn man. This man is married now. I don't care if he might have had a rendezvous one or twice with you since high school. Say, if he knocked on your goddamn door and I wouldn't care if he did get in an argument with this. It could have been his wife for 15 years. It could have been his girlfriend of 15 years. He knocked on your door because he needed somewhere to go that night or for a couple days because they're into it. That's on your weak and beat butt. If you opened that door and allowed him to walk in and then you get mad 3 days later when he go back to his family. Baby, that man been with his family. You knew this before you left that man. Now, what you thought you was going to do in 3 days? Talk him down or leaving everything that he... Come on, man. If he didn't do it in high school or after high school, what make you think he's going to do it now? Let them men and let them women be great because it varies in that too. Chase God. Like some of you chase these men or like some of you chase these women. You understand me? I had another one for that. Let me find that real quick because this one is, I had another one for that. What was it? I can remember it off dome. Get a man where you and him can chase God. And this was a post. Get a man where you and him can chase God and not drugs. Not the stupid, evil, wrong things of life that's going to get you ended real fast. Build empires together. Build worlds together. Build anything that is bigger and stronger than anything together. Just like you should build your families together. I'm going to tell you like this. there are a lot of families out here. They grew up with their own traditions. They followed their traditions. They always got together no matter what, this and that. You understand me? As we got older, our lives went in different directions. True enough, that does not mean people stop loving you or they don't care about you or they don't mess with you, okay? Some of them got kids faster than the other ones. Some of them, life went on to be life, okay? In 2013, I would say I noticed a ripple in some of, and this is a true story, in some of the toughest families and also some of the toughest sibling relationships. True story. You had so many people of years of, oh my gosh, y'all have such a good relationship. Or, oh my gosh, how do y'all get along so good? Or, oh my gosh, I wish I had a sister relationship like that. Or, oh my gosh, I wish I had a brother relationship like that. Or, oh my gosh, I wish our family did this or did that. Around 2013, 14, 15, and on, it was like the floodgates got open and those families and those relationships got tested. Some of them crumbled because they let other family members or they let other friends or other associates come in with their messy, petty, miserable tales and make you think twice about people that you done grown up all of your life with, that you have built strong relationships with. You have some cousins or some siblings that'll get into it or hurry up and go and run and call another one real fast, or whoever's the messiest in the family and try to hurry up and tell the story. But what they forgot was they didn't tell the story right. They didn't even tell how it even jumped off. And now here go the other person. They're labeled as, oh, you wrong, or oh, you knew this, or oh, you. Baby, I jumped off the porch with holding hands with them. Why would I ever leave them? Why would I ever do that? And then there go the chaos between cousins, the chaos between siblings, the chaos between the families. Because now you got family members and siblings that wasn't even there jumping sides, taking sides. I'm going to tell you, and this is a true story on me. I've always been, and I've always talked exactly how Miss New Nations is. I've always been a dark-skinned woman. Always. People thought when I was little, I was playing on how I talked. How do you play about this talk? I don't know. Baby girls and baby boys, as I got older, I used it. It grew with me. But how do you play about, come on. My brother would literally tell them, quit playing with her. That's how she talk. She different. She pop, she's proper. I always had my gap. Long as the Mediterranean Sea, wide as the Pacific Ocean, whatever you want to say. But baby girl, baby boys, kings and queens on your throne, this is one dark, beautiful, bold young woman. Nothing or no one can break me down. As I grew older, and start growing within myself, getting my own self-esteem up. And I'm talking to the girls that were the nerds, the outcasts. That was me. I choose to be like that. I did not have time to be a part of the messy clique, the messy girls, because I was knowledgeable even then. I knew your whole team ain't right for you because someone in your team is trying to talk about you or take you down. You think all the popular girls or all the pretty girls got all the real girls on her team? Skirt? Not at all. Not at all. I always ended up in the circles where you were cool, you were yourselves, you could be yourselves. Nobody worried about nobody else, everybody in their own lane. That's the lane Miss Smooth Nations has always been in. Growing up, all the way up. Anyone know me can tell you that. The only thing is, I'm growner and I'm more a little wiser. And I'm bolder than ever. Do you understand me? Growing up, and I'm not gonna lose my thought on it. But growing up, my aunt, I really lost my thoughts, you guys, on what I was trying to say. The devil is really trying to take it away from me, but it's okay. I'm going to keep it pushing. I'm going to keep it pushing. Growing up, that was the type of female that I was, okay? I dressed different. I was always the one to dress different. I loved it. My different hairstyles, my different colors. As long as it was with me, I'm set. I am good, okay? You have families, and you will have people, whether they're siblings or whether they're inside your families, that have known you all of your life. They know what you stand for. They know what you don't stand for. But if they're not still right, if they're still holding or envying, or is just miserable and bitter, you must spread your wings and give those people their space, their time. It's called loving from a distance. You understand me? It doesn't mean that you don't love the family. It doesn't mean that you don't love your siblings. But if they not on what they supposed to be on, if they not on the right track, then guess what? You still have to remain true to yourself, what you are trying to do, who you are trying to be, okay? That's one thing that I did. I stuck with myself in school, on up into becoming a beautiful, bold woman. And maybe God stopped that because maybe that needed, what I was about to say, needed to be saved for, part 2. When I hit into friends, okay? And I am into friends and the cousins. So thank you, Lord. I want each person to know out there, no matter what situation, what a sibling has done to you, what a family member, what beef y'all got going on, and some of the most dirtiest beefs have started inside families for no apparent reason. When you really go back to the reason of why it really started, you could have came to a conclusion and said this: okay, then we might not gonna go in business together. You go your way, I go my way. That's gonna save our relationship. Okay, we're not gonna roommate together. I do this, you do that. That's gonna save the relationship. Okay, we're not gonna buy this car together. Don't put your name on this, or don't do that. The simplest of things have torn people from each other. I'm going to need for every family and every sibling to snatch back and get it right. If you want to spend your life really not forgiving somebody and be good with it and leave it at that, because I had to, many other women and men had to, in order to fully have a good, healthy life, I suggest you do that at all times. The love of family is real. There are so many people out here that never got to meet their families. They were adopted. They don't even know their real families. Half of them were born into good families if they were adopted. Some of them were, if they were adopted, in the most horriblest situations. Until toasted Americans need to understand, be grateful for the people you have in your life. If the people did or made a mistake, it is okay. You make mistakes every day. I don't care if it is done in the dark. You made it. Jesus seen it, and all your loved ones up there seen it. You ain't perfect. You tried to hide it from everybody while they were down on earth. But if you have anyone you care about and they're sitting up there now, right along with God, they see you. Stop thinking you're perfect. Stop thinking that you just... We all live and we learn. You're not perfect. You might be built. But if you have mind frames in the hearts that you still have like that, neither are you built or... Nah. Baby girls, baby boys, kings, queens, all my Slay viewers. This one was kind of shaky for me, because it was some true stories that was told within it. But I want everyone to know, please pray. Please stay woke. And please stay humble. Love, forgive. Find that relationship back with a family member. Find that relationship back with that sibling. If they do not want it, or if you feel, or if they feel like it's just too late, which it is never too late, because God never forgives too late, do we? You do what you have to do. Continue to forgive that person. And keep going about your life. Pray and live. Don't let them take you down. It is okay to forgive and keep living. I hope you guys have enjoyed part 1. When you heard it, I heard it. I hope I brought it right. I hope I brought it modest. Join me tomorrow evening for part 2. That is the best friends, and cousins series to La Familia ties. You guys have a good night. You be careful in that city. And eat